Yo, what's up, guys? Rain here. So, in light of my video that I made a couple days ago, the the Nightreign has a new problem, which I'm sure you guys seen. If you haven't, go check that video out. This one is going to be kind of a compound, more of a response and help towards that one. Today, we're going to focus on actually how to get better at the game, and I don't mean like in a build sense or what relics you should use or things like that. I mean how to generally get better at the game because I noticed there aren't too many, if any, videos out there like that. They're usually just talking about builds and things you should and shouldn't do. But whenever they talk about the things you should and shouldn't do, they kind of like skim over really important aspects of how people actually fundamentally get better. And they don't really go into detail. So I'm actually going to do that for you today. I have an exceptional amount of hours in these Souls games, this one in particular. And I think I have some things to say to help you guys out. I mean, if I'm going to make a video on how people suck, I should probably follow it with a video on how you can get better. All right. So before we get this started, I want to address one very important thing that unfortunately won't apply to everyone. For those of you who don't know, when you press the dodge button, you do not dodge on press, you dodge on release. And I've never liked that. And as a huge problem with these Souls games, I don't know why Miyazaki designed them that way, but he did. And it unfortunately causes an extreme amount of deaths. You rolling late, rolling and think you pressed the button, but really just realized, you did it after you pressed it. There's actually a solution to that, but unfortunately, it doesn't work with everyone. So I'm going to show you guys a video right now that's going to show you how to fix that, and the fact that it only works for PC users. So let's start off with that. Unfortunately, I don't know. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this. Somebody in the comments down below, let me know if this works with console or if you guys have some way to download community created like layouts. If not, then I don't know how to help you. But if you are on PC, which is the system that I am on, I have something for you. So we're going to go over right now and I'm going to walk you guys through it and how to do it. All right. So as you can see here, this is the Steam page, main page right here. So what you want to do is click the controller on the right over there that you see how to have circled. Just click that red controller. And then once you do that, it's going to take you to this page called the Elden Ring Instant Roll. Now, this is the configuration that was provided by the community, and there's a bunch of them. So I'm going to show you how I got there and how you can get there. So just click this little bar. Everything you see that's red, just click that. Don't worry about anything else right now. If you're using a Xbox controller or a PS4 controller, your controller type up there will be recognized, and you'll be good. The game is plug and play. It should work automatically. So just click this one next. Then once you do that, it'll bring you over here to the community layout. So this is what it's called right here. You'll see there's options on the top. Go over to the far right and you'll click the community layout and you'll see a drop down list of multiple configurations that people have added for the community, for everybody, for different ways to roll. Maybe you want to jump differently. It's just pretty much a drag and drop. You download it and it does all the work for you. So click this one right here. Then once you do that, here's the list I was talking about. So this is pretty much everything you need. Feel free to scroll down here and maybe you see something you like, or maybe you want something different than the one I have. But this video is particularly for the Nightreign Instant Roll. There is also one for Elden Ring, and there's one I think for Dark Souls 3 and pretty much every Souls game, because it's kind of a known thing among the Souls community that dodging is performed upon release, not upon press. You can actually test this out for yourself. You press the button and you hold it, your character is not going to dodge. You're going to start running. And that's the reason it happened, because your run button is the same as your dodge button. Is the stupidest shit in the world, but that's a different conversation for a different video. So this is going to fix that. So click this right here. And then once you click that, it's going to bring you to this layout. Simply hit on the bottom right there, apply layout, and that's it. You'll be ready to play like a normal functioning human being, and your character will dodge when you want them to, not when you think they will, and you won't get hit by random strays, getting roll caught by every possible enemy, and getting outplayed by the Crucible Knights. So I hope this really helped you guys. Again, this is only for the people that have Steam. This works for the Steam Deck as well. So if you're on Steam Deck or if you're on PC or console and you use a controller, this is how I play. I have played this way with every Souls game. I will never play a different way. And yeah, so let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments if you use this method. And also, I'd be interested to know if you guys that play on console have access to something similar to this, some kind of community layout where people like offer public releases for their controller configurations on, especially on Xbox. I feel like that kind of thing will be available. So let me know. I'll be interested to know. And yeah, so I wanted to give this to you guys. I feel like everybody knows, but some people may not. So if you're on PC, here's a way I can help you out. My gift to you. So let's get back to the video. All right, so I'm going to break this video up into like two major parts. We're going to have the major setbacks and then the minor setbacks. Major setbacks are things that are kind of non-negotiable. Excuse me, they are non-negotiable things that you need to stop immediately, that are directly affecting your gameplay and your ability to succeed and get better. And the minor setbacks were more opinion-based, more like up to your interpretation. If you think, you'll get better or not, I'll leave that up to you guys. And that's more for a community debate and for you guys to kind of talk amongst in the comment section and stuff like that. These first major setbacks are non-negotiable. You really shouldn't do these things if this video applies to you. Now, if you're a seasoned player, obviously this video you don't really care about the video anyway. I'm talking to the low to not even average player. Like at the average to low player, anybody that can get to level 4 on your own merit with a team or without, this video probably isn't for you anyway. First and foremost, I need you guys to stop leaving the game. If you leave the game, you are fundamentally hurting your own progress. You can't get better if every time something goes wrong, you dip out, right? And this has happened on levels 2 and 3, unfortunately. Not as much on 3, but it has happened. But this is mainly something that I see happening on a lot of level 1 and 2 players. And I need you guys to understand that if you leave during the game at any point because it went wrong or you died too many times or you're just frustrated, you won't get better that way. You have to weather the storm. You have to ride it out and stay into the end. That's how you learn the attack patterns. That's how you learn how much damage your character can take. You'll even learn boss moves and boss AI. If you leave, you learn nothing. And on top of that, you are also punished for it. And you're hurting your teammates, right? Another thing I want to talk about to kind of piggyback on this is the argument that if you can't beat it solo, you're not good enough. That is not true. This is a team-based game. Not everyone is capable of playing this game solo. So if you decide to leave thinking you'll be helping your team, you're probably hurting them because the people on 1 and 2 probably can't beat the game by themselves. Some can, but not all. The majority of people that play this game cannot solo this game. I need you guys to understand that. That is a skill that not everyone possesses. So to come on here, a few of you in the comment section even said this, oh, just go play solo. That is not a viable solution, nor is it a viable option for everyone. And just flat out, this is a multiplayer game. No one purchased this to play it by themselves. There are people that do, and if that's the case, this video isn't for you. Save yourself to 10 or 15 minutes, however long this video is going to be, and click off now. I play multiplayer exclusively, so I'm talking to the people that do so and do the same. Leaving hurts everybody. If you leave and there's 2 people as a team, it's easier to bum rush a Crucible Knight. It's easier for all 3 of you guys to jump him, get the drop on him, catch him slipping. But the moment you leave and now there's 2 of you, yes, the damage scaling goes higher. You do more damage, but the enemies may be too much for those 2 players that weren't seasoned. A lot of times you'll have 2 seasoned players and 1 straggler, and 1 seasoned player left, and now he has to do more work for the straggler. So overall, you're hurting the team. So if there's not anything else you don't take from this video, just stop leaving. You know what I mean? Weather the storm. If you lose, you lose. It's just a video game, okay? At the end of the day, it's just a damn game. You're trying to have fun. I understand that, and it's frustrating. I also get that. I'll be making a video in the future talking about how I have a lot of problems with this mode, but just don't leave. You're hurting your teammates, and they don't like it when you do that. The second thing I want to talk about, stop going to these NPC caps day 1. And I understand in the base game, you guys might have been skilled enough to get rid of them with level 3 or 4, but in Deep of Night, do not approach them at all at any level under maybe like 8 or 9. They hit like a truck and they can one-shot you, even if you have like it was a raider or something like that. I'm gonna post a picture right now to show you what I'm talking about. These little camps, these icons right here. Yeah, so you see these right here? I marked them in red. They're pretty obvious. I think everybody knows what they are. The little camps right there. They're usually churches or some kind of camp you can go up to, and they're going to be like this dark bluish color. Avoid those day 1. Don't go to them. If you go there by yourself, or unfortunately, or you are in an unfortunate situation where you and your teammate go there, you guys are gonna lose. Even I've seen the most seasoned players die there. You really can't get hit, and especially on day one. If you go there at the end of day one, you killed the field bosses, and you're like level 7 or 8, and you're feeling kind of froggy, and you have enough equipment, and there's nothing else to kill. Then I mean, I'm go for it. Do what you want to do. There's a much less chance you will die, but I'm telling you, it's just not worth it. First and foremost, they drop a okay amount of runes. I'll give it that, but their weapons are always going to be unique to what they're holding, and maybe some kind of an impossible passive. So if it's a character that you don't use, you're not even going to get a good weapon drop for them. And they hit way too hard in Deep of Night. They were already overtuned in the base game, but in Deep of Night, they're like 100 times worse. Avoid them. Don't put your team through that. If at least two people don't run over there, you have no business going over there. Get out of your head that this is a viable way to start your game. You're hurting the team. All right, now for point number 3, stop splitting up. So when you land on the ground, and usually when you guys start, or whenever I start a map, or excuse me, I start an expedition, and you open the map and you're kind of looking around, I understand that there are points of interest that may be unique to your character. I used to do this, and I had to check myself to stop doing this. When I'm using Recluse, I'll see those cathedrals or churches or the towers. I forgot what they're called. You guys can like correct me. The towers, you know what I'm talking about, the mage towers. We'll call them the mage towers. I had this bad habit of running off and going to those on my own, and my team would die and they would leave out of frustration for me not being there. Uh, you guys got to realize a lot of new people are playing this game. I've also had to come to that realization. I've been humbled a bit looking at the comments. Some of you guys have never played Elden Ring. You've never played Souls game. You just get off of work and you want to try the game out. You don't really know much. You see, ooh, new mode, and you go play it, right? So I'll give you a little credence to that. That's fair. I don't think you should be in a rank mode of the game, but if you don't know, you don't know, and it's like at the end of the day, it's just a video game. You're probably just winding down. Uh, what that means is that they're probably not that confident in their skills. So if you run off to go do something for yourself, it's gonna come off as if you only care about yourself. And in a way, it is. You're selfish, right? You're running to this cathedral that really only benefits the mage, the duchess. Sometimes there's random weapons in there, but generally speaking, there are relics specifically designed to give you more FP every time you open these. Now, an average player knows this, so they'll kind of help you prioritize that. They'll run over there with you. You know, they'll go over there and help you open them. They'll even, go with you to grab a drop and give you what they had because it helps you out. I've got most of the time when I find loose sat, it's in there. But to go by yourself is just not something I would recommend. What I would alternatively do is, kind of try to guide your team over there. Like, hey, I want to go here. So ping it. Don't go there, but ping it. Let them know, hey, I would like to go over there. I got some stuff I could use. And like 9 times out of 10, whenever I ping it, like now when I ping it, they'll all like, okay, yeah, we'll help you out. We'll get you what you need. But when back in the day when I used to just run over there and not like let them know and just run off, and they ping somewhere else and I'm going, no, I'm gonna go do this anyway. They get pissed off, they get downed, and then they dip out. This only happens to the players that aren't that good. 2 people is generally enough, but you have to understand the enemies are scaled for 3. So they may or may not be able to hold the slack of you running off to do this on your own. And that just kind of swings back around to me talking about leaving your teammates by yourself is a selfish act. It can hurt the morale of the team, the success, because again, a lot of these people may not be that good. They may be starting out. Even an average player can still die in Deep of Night. This is not the base Nightreign. You know what I mean? I didn't really think this video was necessary for the base game, but Deep of Night it's really rough. Like you can get one shot very easily. So just try to stay with your team. If they leave, they leave. There's nothing we can do about that. But you don't want it to be because you ran off. You're gonna feel guilty. I can't tell you how many times I felt guilty when my team died and I was half across the map getting some selfish item that I knew I could have waited for. I could have beelined it back, hit a left on Crenshaw and went and got it. But I decided to do it now, and then they're down and they're like, what the fuck, this guy, and they leave. So, try your best not to do that. Stay with the team and focus on the task at hand. All right, so that was kind of the major things I wanted to talk about. I can't really think of any other major setbacks at the moment. I think anything else would just be opinion based and nuance. Let me know down below if you guys have anything that's like a serious offense. But now I kind of want to get to like gameplay things you can do to perfect your game, that you perfect your craft, get a little bit better at your character, and just generalize things you should know. So we're going to start with delaying your role. Now this one is going to be a little bit nuanced simply because unfortunately, this option is not available to everyone, or at least I don't think it is because of the video, the what I put in the first few like minutes of this video, how to like change up your configuration. I don't know if console guys can do that. So unfortunately, you're still gonna be playing on the release versus the press. And I've been off of that for so long, I actually don't know how that timing works no more. So take this next advice I'm about to give you with a grain of salt. It's more of a mindset thing than a button pressing thing because again, I need you to understand I don't play like the base way. I play on press, not release. And that difference, it may seem minor to you. I cannot express to you enough how major of a difference that is. I really wish FromSoft would drop this, but Miyazaki is just he's just, wired to making the game as hard as possible. He wants you to pull your hair out. He wants you to catch a felony and go to prison over this video game. So that's probably not gonna happen. So don't roll as soon as you see something happen. As soon as an enemy is about to swing at you, don't roll. Just wait for like a half a second to a second because 9 times out of 10, they're going to catch you. If they expect you to roll upon action, train yourself to not roll upon action. Delay it like right before it's about to hit the ground. Not when it's right when it's coming near you, then you roll. And when it's in your vicinity, don't roll when they're swinging, when they bring their arm back. Like try not to panic roll because 9 times out of 10, you can get one shot in this game. I'm going to talk a little bit more later about how you should play depending on what type of character you have, and you need to switch your mindset. But don't press the roll button as soon as something's going to happen. Almost every attack, every action in this game, there is a delay. Nothing is instant. Hear me again. There isn't a single action in this game that happens instantly. Everything has a delay. So if everything has a delay, why are you responding on contact? You can even quote me on this. Go watch my gameplay. Watch anybody's gameplay. The action, the attacks from the enemies, there's a slight delay to everything. You have to learn that delay. I know it might be kind of tedious. I know it's kind of it's bothersome. You have to. You will not get better at this game if you do not learn the timings of the actions you are dodging. If you don't do that, you will get hit every single time. I'm sorry, there's no way around this. This is not something you can get around. This is not something you can just like bypass. If you do this, you'll never get better. You get hit by everything and you're gonna be pissed off that you're always going down. You're gonna hate the game like I used to, and it's just gonna be aggravating. Learn those timings. You're gonna have to get hit so that you can learn how not to, but learn how not to. Press it a moment afterwards, not on contact. So a second ago, I was just talking about playing according to the character you have. Let's go ahead and talk about that real quick. If you're playing a squishy character, so that's Iron Eye, Recluse, or Revenant, assume you're gonna die in Deep of Night in one hit. That's how I've been playing Deep of Night, and that's how I've been able to get to level 5. I automatically, in my mind, I assume that anything and everything can kill me with a single hit. If it doesn't, I'm grateful, but I generally assume that it will. If you start to play like that, you'll play differently. You'll play more keep away. You'll be more mindful of your spacing, right? You'll try to keep like my rule is 3 bodies. Oh, 3 bodies ahead, 5 bodies away. So when I'm in attack range, I try to stay 3 entire bodies of my character within their range, and 5 bodies of the enemy I'm fighting is too far. If you can count like 5 enemy characters away from you, you're kind of too far. Any character that can do damage won't be doing as much, or the tracking won't be as accurate, depending on who you have. There's nuance to this. If you have Recluse, Stars of Ruin tracks really well, it can miss, but the range falls off, and a lot of people don't realize that. You'll be spamming Stars of Ruin, not realizing that it's stopping. It's not really hitting the enemy, right? So it's probably important that you pay attention to that. And same with the Iron Eye. This game does have weapon drop off. So when you fire an arrow, it's going to get weaker the further you are, right? That doesn't mean you be in their face. You have no business in the enemy's face if you have a squishy character. Iron Eye Recluse, you guys have to stay back. You can get one tapped, you can get killed by the area of effect of it. It can slam on the ground. That little wave that comes after that can kill you. It just can, right? There are weapons and passives that prevent this, but you don't focus on that. Don't play as if you know you can survive this. Play as if you can't, because that will change your whole way of thinking. It can help you live a little bit longer. So that's a tip on that. That's how I play. I think you guys should employ that as well. There's a little nuance to that with Iron Eye. Excuse me, not Iron Eye Executor. Some people did say that he's squishy. He's like 50-50. Once you get to like level 6 or 7, he can take a hit or two. I would say about 2 to 3 hits on night 2 and 3. I don't die. On 4, pretty much everybody gets one shot unless you're a Wilder or a Raider. So just you really can't get hit on number 4. But if you're on 2 and 3, this is not the case for Executor, for the character to have beefier health. But if you're anybody else, if you're not an Executor, um, Raider, or a Wilder, you really have no business in the enemy's face unless you have to be. Unfortunately, I think Revenant has to be. I don't really know how she plays. I know she's a caster, but I see a lot of players that want to use that big, like her huge strength weapon. So I can't speak for that. But if you're Iron Eye and Recluse, just stay the hell away. You're doing yourself a favor. And the team, they kind of play around the fact that you have range. Plus, you're the best possible chance to revive them because you have your arrows. You know, you don't have mana and stuff like that. And if you're a Recluse, there's plenty of spells that could just bring people back. We'll talk about that in a different video. How to play a good support, how to play offense. I'll make a couple of videos to help the community overall. But yeah, play towards your character. If you're a squishy character, kind of stay back. You know what I mean? You're better off playing support. If you know you're not that good, just kind of stay back and don't be all up in the enemy's face, because you going down hurts the whole team. Your 5 or 10 weak arrows are better than you being down for the entire match, because if for some reason your team goes down and you're up, if nothing else, you can revive them. So it's better off than not. Another thing I want to talk about, on the one time you probably should split up, is during the Giants Castle event. Now, many times, most of the time, whenever I die, or a lot of people that I see die, is at the castle when there's giants. They're fucking throwing those things like monkeys, or you know what I mean, throwing those damn pots that kill people. I noticed that there's always like 3 people on one giant. Don't do that. Now, stay with me here. If you're at least level 5, you really should be at the castle unless you're like level 2 or 3. I would say do a couple of field stuff. Approach the castle level 3 or 4, 5 to be safe, right? Because you probably want to kill the guy in the basement, right? Depending on who it is. Split up. When you get to the top of the castle, or if you're around it and you see one of those giants, there's going to be multiples, right? I think there's like 5 or 6. I don't know how many. Don't quote me. But split up. Stay within the eyesight of your teammate, but you don't all need to fight one giant. The giants telegraph their moves a month in advance with a 2-week notice. Okay, so if you get hit by a giant, like honestly, at that point, just you got to go back to the drawing board. Just stop playing the game. But you know what I mean? I can't help you if you're getting hit by a giant. There's nothing I can do for you. But go on the castle and split up. You see one giant. If you're an Iron Eye, you need to divert your attention to him, and your other team can run to one giant, and they're gonna stop throwing the balls at you, because what's gonna happen is if you're all fighting one giant, the other giants are gonna see you and they're gonna alley oop and throw those damn pits at you, and then you guys all die at once and you wipe. Don't do that. Just break it off. The giants are not that hard to kill. They're a little bit spongy if you're level 5 or below 6 or 7, but they have really telegraph moves, like I said, and they're not hard to kill. So break it up, break them off, and then you guys come together, pick up the loot, get the money, and it's not that hard. There will be like little NPCs that are beneath the giants. There's usually like 3 or 4 of them. Approach with caution, right? Depending on what character you are, be mindful of this, but you're better off going one by one than all of you guys on one giant, and then all of you on one giant. You're not going to be able to kill that giant before you can get hit by another basket. It's 9 times out of 10, you're going to be at the castle level 5 anyway. And if you're on 2 or 3, that bucket that they throw, it'll kill you in like one go. So break up, divide and conquer. This is the one time where separating it works really well. So I would implore you to use that tactic. Another thing I want to talk about is the Evergaol meta. I've seen a few people talk about it, and it's in full effect. This is your best way to get damage. I know it was more negotiable and people didn't like it before. It's kind of not negotiable here. because we almost never get shifting earths. 9 times out of 10, I get the basic earth. Every now and again, I might get Nakateo or I might get the rotten woods, but generally I don't get it. So try to have the Evergaol, perk on you so that when you go there, you can clean up as many as you can. You usually get, I think, 7 or 6. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But the Evergaol meta is really good. It's legitimate this time. I know a lot of people would hate it because it forces you to play a certain way. You kind of have to play that way now to get damage because it's not that many ways to get legendaries no more. I think that they did that intentionally to kind of prevent you from steamrolling Deeper Night. So 9 times out of 10, you're only gonna get a blue weapon anyway, and you need the damage. So go ahead and use the Evergaol relics. You don't have to, but I would suggest that you do. As far as when to approach them, I would say in Deeper Night, it depends. It's kind of a catch-22. I would say 5 or 4, but there's 3 of you, so 4 you can kind of do it. The thing about it that I want to talk about is the time, and I think it's a lot of things people don't really realize. But I'm going to save that for another section. That's a really important thing. But for the Evergaols, it's kind of dependent. It depends on how much time you have and what level you are. So we can roll right into that. Let's talk about time. The reason you would skip an Evergaol is if there's too many enemies or if they're red. If you're level 2 or 3 and a red enemy comes out, just leave. Yes, you probably can beat him and you probably have the skill to do so, but you don't have the damage to do it fast enough. So you gotta go. You can't stay there and fight that enemy and waste 2 minutes because you wanted to prove a point or you really want the damage. You can always come back the next day. You can come back later that day. You know what I mean? Or come back the next following day or something like that, right? Don't waste time trying to complete an Evergaol and cost yourself a couple of flasks or a couple of castles that you could have killed in like 40 seconds because you're level 4. You know what I mean? So while the Evergaol meta is in full effect now because we don't always have shifting earths, I would implore you to be considerate of your time because you don't have that much of it. The last 2 things I want to talk about are rolling in instead of rolling out and learning your character attack timing. These are more nuanced. They're like the rolling in is more important. The attack timing is a little bit more advanced in the sense that you'd have to actually go to the training area and swing your sword and see how much lag you have after the attack. Not everyone's going to do that. I did that because I'm like, I really want to get good at the game and I enjoy playing and I hate dying. So you can do that. You can go to the training area and you can pick the character that you like the most and swing and see how much lag you have after each attack and see how vulnerable you are after attack. So once you attack, there's gonna be a few frames where you can get hit, right? I won't go into frame data, because if you're not part of FGC, it won't really matter to you. You won't pick up on my jokes. So yeah, like some of these moves have a frame 15 startup, and I'm like the Raider. Oh my god, but that is not what this video is about. So yeah, you can go to the training mode, and you can test out your character's frame data, how fast they swing, and how much lag they have after they attack when your frames are active and when they're not. That just means that when you swing from the moment you start to the moment you stop. And then I want to talk about rolling in instead of rolling out. A lot of attacks in this game are designed to attack you on the fleeing. What you should consider doing is rolling towards your enemy, towards the left or right of them, and they'll almost always miss you. There's nuance to this. Some enemies have like area of effect, like lava or a butt slam. If it's something like that, you're still better off going for rolling towards them. So what's his name? The Godskin duo, the obese one, the one with the fucking EBT gut. When he jumps up and down or he starts like regurgitating his belly and stuff like that, roll towards him. If you roll back, the frames are still active. You have to understand the frames start from him and then they spread out. So if you roll away, you may miss the initial frames of him doing the action, but he's going to catch you on your way out. The game is designed, they know people are going to roll spam. They know you're going to panic roll. So they're waiting for that. Miyazaki he's pretty smart when it comes to that. He knows how to catch your ass. So you're going to roll towards the enemy, to their left or their right. And that's how you're going to dodge, I would say, 99% of the actions in this game. So you follow that, you'll probably almost hardly ever get hit. Give it a shot, test it out. I would even go to the bait, go to the regular mode. A lot of these things I'm telling you about, you can test this stuff out in the regular mode of Nightreign. You don't have to go try this in Deeper Night. spend at least like 40 hours at least or 30 hours in the base mode, guys. Like, don't come in deep at night if you've never played Nightreign. You're gonna get steamrolled. One more thing I want to talk about. If you want to roll when you jump off of a cliff and when you jump from a far height and you want to keep running, just jump. That's all you gotta do. If you're jumping from a really far height off of a side of a cliff or a church or something like that, jump right before you get off the edge. You don't have to press anything else, but just hold the analog stick forward. You're gonna hit the ground, roll. You're gonna keep running. That's a little tip and trick I saw in a YouTube video. Not enough people know that because I see so many people jump, they hit the ground, they start walking, they have to roll again. It saves a little bit of time, but every little bit of time, adds up. So jump off of a cliff. Make sure you jump. All you have to do is hold forward on the analog stick. You don't got to press any special button. There's other tech how to actually cancel your roll, but I'll talk about that in a different video. But there is a way to actually roll cancel, but it's too nuanced and it's not really worth it. It doesn't, it doesn't do much. It's just to brag. So, but yeah, jump off a cliff and you'll land, roll, and then keep running automatically. Make sure you hold forward on the analog stick. And that's it, guys. I don't really have much else to add. There's a whole other things I could say to try add like advanced tech, but I feel like those things are for the more seasoned players and those usually come natural. I'll make a video in the future, some shorter videos to try to talk about it. I did not intend for this video to be so long, but I really wanted to help you guys the best that I possibly could and know how to get better. Don't take this as a slight. I'm not making fun of people. I'm not trying to attack you. I mean, I am attacking the people that leave. Everybody else, I'm not like attacking you. Like, I'm mad, but I'm not angry at you. You get it? Like, I'm not going to insult you. But if you leave because you fail, you're an ass. And you know what I mean? You're a part of the problem. So, fuck you. Don't abandon your team. That's fucked up. Don't do that. But if you just, you're dying all the time, you're always down, like, we all lose, right? We all make fucking mistakes. So don't attack other people in the comments because they play differently than you. Like, I saw a couple of people being toxic. Like, don't do that. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to ban nobody because you're being mean to someone else because of what they play. Right? This video is to educate people. My previous video was to bring to attention to people that do dumb shit. But like, we've all made mistakes, right? So as long as you're not just leaving when shit goes wrong, you can get better, you can improve. And that's what this particular video is for. It's a lot longer than I wanted to be, but I had to get this all out. It was on my mind this whole week. I've been busy, so I couldn't really get it done when I wanted it to, but it's here now. I hope the audio sounds a lot better than the previous one too. I took a couple of tips from somebody in the comment section to help fix the audio out. So hopefully it sounds better. You guys let me know how it sounds. I'm sure you will. You guys tend to tell me that the audio is pretty fucking shitty. So I appreciate that. I take all criticisms with stride, and I appreciate that you guys watched the video. And thank you for the love on that video. This video like blew up for me. 3,000 may not seem like a lot, but for me, that's a lot of views. I'm a small up and coming channel, so I appreciate you guys for all your feedback. I appreciate you guys commenting and let me know how you feel. We all have the same love for this game, obviously. So I just want everybody to get better. Generally speaking, I want to put positivity into the Souls community because it's unfortunately a very, very, very toxic community, right? I love the community, but you guys you're fucking toxic. And I want to try to put videos out to assist people to get better. I had plans to make this video when I made the new video, and I always intended to help people after I made that video, but I had to call it out. A lot of y'all was fucking up, and I had to call it out. If the video doesn't apply to you, then it doesn't apply to you. But I'm pretty sure you know someone who has done at least one or two things that I've mentioned in that video, so you can relate. And if you can relate and you made it this far in the video, type down in the comments, Miyazaki is an asshole. That's gonna let me know you got to the end of this video. Type Miyazaki is an asshole. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about this video. If there's anything you would add or any tips that I might have missed out on that you guys want to think, hey, maybe you should know this for noobs. Comment it down below. I would love to hear what you guys have. There will be timestamps to break this video up in case you don't want to watch the whole 30-something minute video. But yeah, thank you guys for stopping by. And until next time, reading out.